As someone with anxiety, real anxiety, I never thought a book written by some Roman guy who lived over 2000 years ago before me and couldn't possibly have any idea what my life is like, what any of our lives is like, would be the one thing to get me out of my own head. And yet it did. And not in some cliche self help way. It didn't just tell me to think positive or get over it. It taught me that I am the one who can make things be okay. It's not fiction. It wasn't written to look wise. It wasn't even written for an audience. It's a private journal, never meant to be found, read, or remembered. Meditation was written by Marcus Aurelius, the late Roman emperor, over 2000 years ago before us, to simply get through the day and his millions of responsibilities like all of us. You have power over your mind and not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Meaning, you don't control what happens, but you can control how much space it takes up inside you. At first, this felt really obvious, but when I thought about it more, I realized I've been doing the exact opposite for a really long time. I was constantly reacting to what people said, to what might happen, to what I couldn't control. And I kept thinking, if I can just fix this one thing, I finally feel calm. I'll finally be okay. But this quote flipped that. It's not about changing the outside world. It's about noticing that how you interpret what happens is what creates stress, not the event itself. It's about knowing that the only thing you truly have power over in this world is you. So, what did I do to apply this quote? I started catching myself. Instead of spiraling out of control whenever something didn't go my way, I'd stop and ask myself, is the problem the situation, or is it just my interpretation of it? Is it really a problem, or is it just my perception of what a third party might think about it? If I can fix it, let it go. Because the truth is, things only matter to you so long as you give them the power in your mind to matter. And that was the shift. Not controlling life, just learning not to lose my head whenever things didn't go my way. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, jealous, dishonest, and surly, and none of them can hurt me. Meaning, people will be people, and don't let that surprise you. It's quite cynical, I know, but the more I sat with it, the more I realized it was just practical. It wasn't about being pessimistic, it was about being prepared to face what is quite literally human intrinsic nature. Also, Marcus wasn't saying everyone you meet is terrible. It was saying, do not start the day expecting everyone to be kind, fair, and helpful, because at the end of the day, men will be men. I used to go into my days with this quiet hope that people would just act right. Most of the frustration I felt during the day came from being surprised that people weren't easier to deal with. But I had to realize that I honestly cannot control people, and you can't either, by the way. I can only control myself. This quote helped me expect imperfections, not in a pessimistic way, but in a way that kept me from being surprised. So here's what I started doing. I would remind myself in the morning, no matter what happens, you're still in control of how you show up. The goal was to stop handing my peace over to every bad mood, situation, or attitude I crossed paths with. If it is endurable, then endure it and stop complaining. This one is blunt, but it's also practical. When things got hard, I used to spend a lot of time venting and replaying everything in my head, but none of that made anything easier. This quote reminded me that if I'm still here, I'm already enduring anyways. I don't need to make it look good or feel perfect. I just need to keep pushing through it. Sometimes it means taking it hour by hour. Other time it means doing the bare minimum. Marcus' point here wasn't suck it up. It was more like, if you're still standing, you're already doing way better than you think. But complaining, whether out loud or in your mind, only makes everything feels heavier, honestly. This line taught me to stay focused on the fact that I can get through it. Not because I'm super strong, but because I'm still here, and that's proof enough. So here's what I started doing. On hard days, I gave myself permission to do less. Instead of demanding that I push through, I stopped treating every difficult moment like something I had to conquer, and I focused on staying instead of performing strength. And when my mind started spiraling, I'd say to myself, you don't need to figure this out right now, just stay here, just get through this moment. And some days that indeed meant, like I said earlier, doing the bare minimum, and other days it meant getting quiet and just letting the day pass. And somehow, once I stopped fighting the moment, it felt lighter. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Meaning, just because something feels personal doesn't mean it actually is. This one helped me to stop taking my own thoughts at face value. Anxiety has a way of convincing you that all your worst case scenarios are facts. That someone not texting you back means they hate you. That one failure means you're never going to succeed. But this quote reminded me that just because something feels true doesn't mean it is. Marcus fundamentally believed that events are neutral. Our interpretation of those events is what wounds us. So instead of immediately believing every thought just because it appeared in my mind, I started asking myself questions like, is this the whole story, or is it just my subjective interpretation of it? Is it what really happened, or is it just an assumption? It wasn't about toxic positivity, it was about not automatically believing and giving authority to every thought just because it's loud. Thoughts aren't facts, and when you stop treating them like they are, things start feeling lighter. You could live life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This used to sound so dark to me, but over time I realized that it's not a threat, it's a reminder. Life is fragile and it is temporary, and instead of avoiding that fact, Marcus used it as a motivation to be more intentional. I personally took it as this: you don't know how long you got, so be honest, be present, and stop wasting time on things that don't align. I started applying it in small ways, saying what I actually meant, not holding grudges that don't matter. I honestly haven't had any hatred for anyone in my heart for at least 5 years now, because the truth is, at the end of the day, it really is never that deep. And if something isn't worth your time in the long run, stop giving it space in your day-to-day life. This quote doesn't tell you to rush or panic. It tells you to value your time because it's not guaranteed. Meditations didn't save me, but it steadied me. In Marcus Aurelius, I didn't find a philosopher preaching from above. I found a human being trying not to fall apart just like me. It reminded me that even through pain and uncertainty, everything will be okay because you have the power to make it be okay. You truly are so much stronger than you think. And honestly, you're not alone. Everyone is going through stuff. Thank you so much to those who stayed until the end. And if you appreciated this reflection, like and share. You never know who might need it. Also subscribe and stay tuned for future videos of my book series. If you've read Meditations already, comment with your favorite quote from the book down below and how it impacted you. And if you haven't read it yet, go read the Gregory A's translation. That's the one I recommend. And you can come back to this video whenever you want to tell me what you thought about it. It's a really small book too, so it's gonna be really easy to read for you guys. Until next time, take care of your thoughts, guys, and they'll take care of you.